Aloha everyone, this is Jessica Oyanagi with Home Sweet Maui Realty in Hawaii on the island of Maui. And I'm here today to share a video with you highlighting the escrow process that occurs after you put an offer on a home and it gets accepted. I get a lot of questions about what happens after your offer is actually accepted. I know a lot of people are kind of nervous or unaware of what those steps require, but I'm here today to try to give you just a simple, easy explanation so that you know what you're getting yourself into even before you start searching for homes. If you've never watched one of my videos before, I love sharing my Maui life with you on YouTube. I'm a licensed realtor living and working on the island of Maui, and if you're looking for a realtor, I would love to work with you. I will put my contact information in the description below in case you'd like to get in touch with me. And if you just find value in this video, I would love it if you'd give me a like and hit that subscribe button. So, I love to put together videos that can educate potential clients on the steps that go into purchasing a home. And one question I get a lot is, what exactly does escrow mean and what does the escrow process entail? And this process occurs after you have an accepted contract. So that means after you found a home, after you put an offer, and after that offer has been accepted. The very first thing that I would love to point out is that you are not alone in this. I have had clients who are very nervous and very anxious about this part of the process. They think that they have to, go through their contract and make sure that everything on there is fulfilled all by themselves, and that is just not the case. This is a big part of a realtor's job, is to help actually kind of hold your hand through this process and make sure that all of the legal steps that you need to take to get to the closing table and actually get the keys to your house legally get done. Personally, I think the escrow process is kind of a big deal. I know there's some people out there that want to try to purchase a house on their own without any realtor representation, and I think that this is probably one of the most difficult parts if you wanted to try to do this alone. If you don't have someone to help guide you through the escrow process, it could mean that you miss a very important deadline and potentially could lose out on the house that you have the offer and contract accepted for. As a realtor, of course, I do not want this to happen to any of my clients. So it's my number one job to work with my transaction coordinator and my clients, as well as the other parties that we partner with during the escrow process, to make sure that everything gets done in a timely manner and correctly. There are several other parties involved that we will be partnering with as a client goes through the escrow process. The first and probably most important one is your loan officer. And so the loan officer is not only going to help make sure that you get pre-qualified for the loan that you're going to use to put an offer on your home, but they're also going to make sure that you complete all of the paperwork you need in a timely fashion so that the bank can actually fund your loan by closing day, to make sure that you get the keys to your house on your closing date. So whoever your loan officer is, I will be in touch with them throughout the entire escrow process. And we're constantly looking at the contract and the dates that things are due and coordinating to make sure that you are right on track. Besides your loan officer, there's also going to be an escrow officer that's assigned to your closing. And this escrow officer is also going to make sure that we are staying on track, staying committed to everything that's in your contract, making sure that you have a clean and clear title on your home and that everything gets done in time so that you can get those keys. The last major partner that is also going to partner with your loan officer, your escrow officer, myself, and anyone else involved in the transaction is the other party's agent, right? So if you're purchasing a home, there's also going to be a listing agent who's involved to make sure that their client who's selling the home is getting everything done that they need to do before closing day. The reason that I mention all of the people that we need to partner with throughout the escrow process first is because you need to know that your realtor that you select needs to be someone who can work with other people, can have and build good relationships with them. Because if they're not a good communicator, if they can't meet deadlines and work with the other people involved, that could affect your bottom line when you go to close on your home. So this is an opportunity here in the video for me to share that I have a very extensive background in customer service, marketing, leading up to this point. So that allows me to have the skills necessary to build relationships with these other partners. That way we can work together in tandem to make sure that your home closes on time. The escrow process really all stems from your purchase contract. So you will have an opportunity to review that purchase contract in as much detail or as little detail as you want, but I do my best to educate my clients to make sure that they know exactly what they are signing in that purchase contract. The purchase contract is a big part of our schooling and training as a realtor. And so if you have any questions, your realtor should be able to answer them with no problem at all. And the contract is going to dictate things such as, when you have to have an inspection on the property done by, when you have to request repairs by, when you have to have a termite inspection, when you have to turn your loan paperwork in. These are all just lots of little things along the escrow road in the journey to buying your new home. So the easiest way to explain the escrow process itself is to think about two parallel paths that are occurring from the time your purchase contract is accepted by the seller until you get the keys to your home. And these two paths, in my mind, go hand in hand. So one path is the path of your loan, right? And the steps, if you're using a loan to purchase the property, that you need to go through to make sure that that loan money is in place and ready to pay the seller on closing day. The other path goes through the actual escrow company, in which they make sure that everything else, pretty much besides the loan, is put in place to make sure the property is secure and legally transferred over to you when you get the keys on closing day. So traveling along that first path with your loan officer and your lender, you are going to see that they will be double checking all of the information that you submitted in your loan application. So they're going to run your credit, make sure, do a background check, make sure you are who you say you are, make sure that you have the employment you say you do, the funds in the bank for possibly your down payment, and just make sure that you really are a qualified buyer and they can lend the money to you that they said they would be able to. Once they can prove that you are a qualified buyer, then they're also going to order an appraisal on your home. And this means an appraiser is going to come out, they're going to assess the property and make sure it's actually worth what you're going to be buying the property for. Because obviously a bank doesn't want to lend you money if the property is worth a lot less than what you put an offer in for. Going through the appraisal process not only protects the lender, but it also protects you. You want to make sure that the price that you're offering is fair for the property that you're going to buy. So once your funds are approved and the property has appraised, then everything comes together for your final loan to be approved and the paperwork is submitted, the money flows through so that it can be funded and given to the seller when you close on your home. Path number 2 with your escrow officer and the escrow and title company is going to be a little bit of a journey through some legal rigmarole, which you'll probably never deal with again. But you want to make sure that the person selling the property to you actually legally owns the property. And so the escrow company is going to open up a search into the title, the legal ownership of the property, and make sure that everything looks kosher before you take ownership of the property. The escrow company also acts as kind of a transaction coordinator, just to make sure that everything that's written in the contract does get done on time, and they work with the loan officer and the mortgage company or whoever your lender is to make sure that everyone's on the same page. And so it's kind of like checks and balances, right? There's definitely at least 3, 4, 5, if not more people who have eyeballs on your purchase contract and everything related to it just to make sure that everything gets done on time, legally, so that you can be a happy camper when you receive your keys on closing day. The last step in the escrow process is when you actually sit down and you sign many pages of your purchase documents. And once you're done putting your signature and your initials on all that paperwork, then it takes about a day or two for that information to get legally recorded with the county and state that you're purchasing the property in. And then closing day comes, and that is the most fun part because we get to meet at your new home. And I usually like to do some fun things like bring gifts or drinks, balloons sometimes if you have kids, and we have a celebration and you receive your keys and you become a new home owner. I hope you enjoyed this video giving you an overview of the escrow process when you go to buy a home. And if you are looking for a client-based realtor on the island of Maui, I would love it if you contact me. My phone number is 808-344-5100. Or you can check me out at homesweetmaui.com, and I'll include all of this information in the description below. And even if you're not looking for a realtor and you just found value in this video, if you could give me a quick like and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. Aloha.